Hi, everybody. This is a greeting for today. I love you all, and I hope everybody is, being strong, holding on. The environment, a lot of times, we don't realize that's the conscious mind of God. So if you can spread my videos and tell everybody to tap in and listen to the daily word of upgraded stories I post from other very impressed with truth individuals that are impressionable in supporting my mentality that I post on my IG page of my stories and reels, that they give a synopsis of real time synchronicities when I speak or speak to my family within my internal reawoken family tree, that ties into everybody saying, if when you go in the hospital and the psych ward, are you seeing or hearing things or that are not there? And so if that question adds to, yes, I am. I have a sixth sense, really a seventh, eighth, ninth sense of talking to hierarchy within my family that are not earthbound, as Moon Mant indicated that the government is now confirming we have multi-dimensional beings here activated on Earth, and that's the total truth. In alignment with that, this video is going to be a little bit past 3 minutes, so I can, be as detailed in orientation-wise, you all to what's actually happening, that I have a lot more insight on literally as solar being reactivated. And if you can, go on YouTube and look up Dr. Carl Jung's videos pertaining to us and the dark side or the soul of your essence in your vessel, as we are layered as multidimensional within our earth physical form, grounded, similar to the movie Avatar, that those beings are native to the planet, born here. We came down in essence from different realms, and that's why also there is a question about, is the earth round or flat? Because this area is quarantined, as in when I had medically a staph infection, it's like the body utilizes its military or your autoimmune system automatically to get any foreign bacteria or life forms that can be called bugs on the microscopic level, and surrounds. And staph infections are contagious, and my body at that time built a lot of mucus, and mucus in that regard is good because it blocks off from in the bloodstream that the body is fully saturated with blood throughout it, as circulation beyond the veins and major arteries, that if you were to squeeze your finger and then release it, you'll see the blood flow again. So staph infections are very dangerous. It starts to attack your organs and starts breaking down, the functioning of the homeostasis of how the body operates. So I had one, and I had to take antibiotics, and they had to slice it open, because when they had to slice it open, it had bacterium in it that the body encased with mucus to protect the staph infection that made me feel sick from spreading everywhere. So that's similar to this planet being quarantined. And right now, I'm going to make a note of it, that they know I'm annoyed with it. I don't like when others that I can tap into their vessel that are criminals that have reported to me. So my tone slightly changes, and they know that's disrespectfully rude to want to speak with me. I'm being told mentally it's admiration, but I told them, since I'm calling their names and I'm the first name, and I never met them in person, I live here alone, and I told them, please do not speak with me, because if you do, it becomes a vibratorial juju that I ask for respect. So being that they have a choice in honor of, willpower, I fully supervise and control within the confines of, like I'm saying, isolating them as in not being able to do much. They are quarantined in a hold, as I explain to them and test them as souls with willpower on what they're willing to do. So talking, as I'm being told, is not so significant, but I don't like to be interrupted and mocked Those are what are in the Bible called mocking spirits or monitoring spirits that tend to mock me. And so I find it rather disrespectful than a type of inspiration or twisted means of admiring me, on their behalf. But anyway, again, I told them and I warned them that when I speak and I do my videos, please do not interrupt me because it becomes a curse with mocking me. Okay. Now I'm going to continue since it was disregarded that this area, this planet is quarantined. That's why the earth being flat or round was a question, because the reason why it's 2026 and 1 AD is an addendum to prior to that being BC, before Christ. So that would denote that Christ was born in 1 AD 2,000 years ago. The Jesus of 2,000 years ago, it's a little past 2,000. And so he said, I'll come again. But what we don't realize is that we do not die. We just change from state to state in energy that has to do with essence and energy not being able to die. So death then becomes, as taught by Dr. Malachi Z. York, His Excellency, that it's a delusion. And so anybody right now on a low vibration that takes teachings of a spiritual knowledge having to do with me being mother, divine mother, father, androgynously, both as God. And a lot of us now are waking up that if you're God and a child of God, that means it's not written in your earth law, ye are gods and children of the Most High. So right now I'm being mocked. And again, anyone who thinks that to be funny is mentally impaired. They are very narcissistically hateful, envious, and jealous. And we're seeing that a lot more evidenced with our immediate circles of associates, co-workers, friends, spouses, lovers, best friends, business partners, mothers, unfortunately, sisters, siblings. It's not limited to anything that you can ever think about. When it says, like I said on the other video, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. But the only ones that could be closer to you would be your family members. And that's very, very exceptionally unfortunate. Now, this planet has been the only little tiny area that has been quarantined for the longest, because when I expanded in consciousness off of it, no longer limited to the holds of why it is throughout time that we had a star holocaust, as the energies in the etheric state of what's around us here is explosive. Considered again the Big Bang, that we are made of star energies, that they wanted to collide atoms and recreate the Big Bang, not realizing that we breathe oxygen, so the air is gaseous. So with a friction of spinning real fast, as in you can tell with the Indian burn, the rubbing, or a hurricane or a tornado or a twister, the friction of the air where it's been alchematized here. And we are very ancient, more than can be calculated, as Yanun states. He's Dr. Malachi Z.K. York, His Excellency, that was also considered by other names at first. He couldn't come down here and say he was Jesus, so it was left for us to figure out. Imam Isa, Rabboni, Yeshua, Al-Qadir, meaning the green one, the heart, the one that opened up the 7 seals to give us what we were at in religion, different faiths, so that we can have the truth influxed in its original language, that he did such excellent work in sacrificing for us with his life for 30 years. Day in and day out teachings from the Ansar schools in Bushwick, Brooklyn, New York, to Jazza Abba, upstate New York, and then finally in Eatonton, Georgia, where they, unfortunately by women wanting him as very handsome, very wealthy, and prestigiously known as a righteous teacher, not a poor righteous teacher, but a righteous, wealthy teacher that is so multifaceted to make music. He has a lot of children, of course, because, he's going to be with that type of attraction power, a moth to a flame type of individual. And he, won us over by his loving ambiance, not only easy on the eyes, but because of who he is. And so that's why it's good that no one acknowledged him to be Jesus that said, I'll return, in the last days, that he has a wife, and that wife is me. And that's why I can say he taught me from within myself, that he woke me up, so that all throughout my journeying in life that was so phenomenal, from young I could see ghosts and spirits in the astral plane that my family was telling me wasn't there. So it ties into later on, many years after my last child, that's going to be 16. She was born in 2010. Every year consecutively, I was being bombarded around my birth date, sometimes twice a year, with what's considered a rude awakening. That rude awakening now attributed to me doing some more soul searching, like Dr. Samuel B. Lee, the psychiatrist, Asian guy, that I post a lot of his videos. He's an ancient soul and is angelic and a divine master. And so his testimony about psychiatry, like in the movie Smile 1 and Smile 2, if you all can check those movies out, that whenever we come across issues, it then propels us to do something about it, in doing research and wanting to get down to the root as to why we are suffering. That means you care about you. So Dr. Samuel B. Lee went and did a lot of research and became a board certified psychiatrist, and then nosediving into the industry realized we didn't have it together. So a lot of times we think we do, and when we get down to what is the remedy of what we are currently using to band-aid, not getting to the spiritual aspect of the mind. Spirituality is beyond consciousness. It's another form of light, that dark and light are synonymous, one and the same, because you can have darkness without the light, vice versa in some senses, because with the light, the darkness disappears, right? But it's still very much not there to be seen except with like shadows, right? So what I'm getting at is the black ground is what is like the gas on the stove, right? The blackness, the gaseousness supports the light. So it works hand in hand. So light is basically a different form of darkness expressing itself. So pure consciousness in blackness is consciousness of self, and then light gave that consciousness something else to work with. Hence, we are 98.6 degrees as a lit fire. That there is a medical terminology called spontaneous combustion. That means that inside the fire gets lit and then turns that individual, unfortunately, into a crisp, okay? Burnt crisp. Forgive me. That is a rare occurrence, but that means we are made of fire and light, and we breathe in oxygen, and that's the soul that sustains us, the consciousness, God. We're all made of God. So what I'm getting at is there are rules of engagement and codes of conduct that we are not supposed to cross the line, being that we are gods and goddesses, given that as a gift of expression in allness of the Creator, that I am co-creator with my counterpart that woke me up, ladies first. So because I'm the missing link, as he said, I came giving you all what you all wanted, where you were at, that I met you all in religion and thoroughly walked you all through the original languages, reinterpreting all the books as much as I was guided to do from higher, right? Our family on high that utilized Yanun's vessel as spiritual masters to guide him. Honorarily, they did their best, but we didn't realize when I woke up, there was lurking in the dark as so-called family and monitoring spirits that after a certain point, I started waking up to talk to them from within me in their own vessels, not realizing that I'm omnipresent. So one of them said from within me, whoever it is that you can't literally, because I'm earth grounded, so I can't literally hear from these ears into the astral plane. I hear from my mind. So I started toying with it consciously. And I was told from within me, you are omnipresent, because that being is speaking and sounds like you, because all these different voices of different tones auditorily started speaking that I knew wasn't me. I thought it was just me waking up and the Most High. That I had to have been honest, because as I told you all from my earlier videos, me punching my face, I didn't put injections in my skin. This was real-time punches, as in a basic training that my head got so banged up, it proved immortality. So I was also gifted with a type of crystal similar to the movie with Indiana Jones that laced in here energetically, that the Most High pulled to cover my skull, so that it made me even more fortified as not being shot if anybody wanted to kill me, that now they can't. Now, back to the atomic realm. While I was in sleep woke state, my conscious, that's how some of us can astral project, as Yanun taught, that if anything was to happen to your vessel, you can. Like me, I also had a very shallow breathing, that if anything to attribute support to what I'm stating happens to the body. And when I was younger, I had where I slid out of my skin consciously, and I was exactly how I am here, but shed off a little bit of the skin, and I was being communicated throughout my entire little earth life of 45 years, gonna be 46 in September. A lot of out of this world, if I tell you, like a movie. So I was very calm and poised the entire time, knowing that I had tons of visions of Yanun, Dr. Malachi Z.K. York, His Excellency. And he also indicated that if you see me as Rabboni Yeshua, Imam Isa, then that's other names in other languages for Jesus Christ. If you see me in your visions, it's personal. So there were an innumerable amount of visions that he visited me from, like I said, 9. I was walking on emerald crystals with him being in the dark, bigger than what I could see, holding my hand. It was just pitch black, but the ground was emerald crystals, and I was lightly, of course, I couldn't run on that. It was rocks, right? Crystals are rocks, but everywhere I stepped, it lit up more magnified in green. And I gave a type of synonymousness to the video with Michael Jackson and the tiles where he stepped that lit up. So that dream was at 9. And so from that, every year, visits of dreams and visions, that I also took my initiation to meet the Most High, that we say in our orders, into me I see, where you say this is the nose, so we don't get so attached to our form, our physical form, that we know we're here visiting, that if we have to leave, that's what's laying down the foundation of not being so attached to staying grounded if we have to pass on to higher realms, that we don't get so caught up on the earth plane, on the earth realm. So to make a long story short, I was very much contacted by hierarchy, especially Dr. Malachi Z.K. York. Amanubi Ru'akata is some of his other names, that he, during teaching different lessons and different schools of thought, his name changed. Al-Qadir means the green one, the heart chakra. The opener of ways. Amun means similar to the hidden one. What other names? As-Said Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi. That's when we were in the Muslim Ones of Peace school. Atum Ray, that's the beginning and the 4 quarters of the sun, the 4 points that we say are forevers. You have Atum Ray, you have Atun Ray, you have Amun Ray, and then you have Amun Ray, right? I mean Anun Ray. Atum Ray, horizon, Atun Ray, high noon, then you have Amun Ray, sunset, and then from there you have Anun Ray, underworld. That's also synonymous, as I can fill in a lot more details about ancient, they say Egyptian, Commission sciences, right? Having to do with the ancients of creation that we all are. That's why I got news of what's going on to stay abreast that I love, even though I expanded so much in knowledge and my soul is talking to you all more than my earth life of being 45 years young. I'm speaking to you all tapped in fully in my full memory of my solar life. And that's what happens. That's why I'm telling you all, watch the videos with Dr. Carl Jung. We do not have to live in fear no more because we are even more fortified as being protected. So all we have to do is just continue to be respectful, upright individuals. And the quantum realm now is what's also an animal that when a reptilian, when I was in Harlem, took his claws, they're very spiritual, they're ancient beings, and I love them. They're exceptionally beautiful and very aggressive as alligators and crocodiles, right? But very ancient in knowledge as well. Ancient beings, and they're not human. So they're more older than our children here on earth. And so to make a long story short, we are also made, we're geneticists. So we experiment with, well, I am, and a few of us others, we experiment with different species to give them, a testing area and to, bring them into existence as our babies. And so, this is why it has to be reinstated that there is divine order, that others don't impede on other species and other races that we are responsible for, especially me, mommy. And so I just want to reinstate that, the atomic world that we can't see with the naked eye, just like an ovum or a spermatozoa, we may seem like we're here, and we are, but in divine timing, it shifts that anyone in any thought that thinks something to harm us, they get further away from us energetically, and the puzzle of atomic energy shifts where we can't be duplicated, we can't be replicated, we can't be copied, we can't be followed, we can't be hurt, because that will be the test that whoever in thought, especially now, tries to target us or tries to do anything to monitor us or to keep tabs on us, it's going to have detrimental circumstances, FYI. We're made to enjoy life. We're not made to usurp or overtake each other for what kind of power. I mean, like, we are all different uniquenesses in God's creation. Just do your best to the highest degree now and learn to love more, heal, and enjoy life so we can have more of a community of happiness together. Now 7D in high vibrations on earth. So if your vibe and your mentality is not high, it's going to make you be angry. And the only way to do something about that is to forgive yourself and integrate your shadow as baggage of bad habitual thoughts. That's toxic minded energy that only that particular or those individuals that have that as a stain on them can be the ones that are honorarily the originals of those thoughts to integrate it with forgiveness, and that's the alchemy. I love you all. I want to share more with you all, but the protection is on a quantum level, that even though we are able to see each other and touch, it's on a quantum level, not the same vibration, and it's a fading out of us being here with everybody that is already in a zero time reference, born and already is in a system of forgiveness, that once we're born on earth, there is only an expectancy during the test of time. Giving that you have some time, being still alive, that was given, now that we got down to the bottom of it, that we were kind of like duplicated on my ship and bamboozled and got stuck in the wheel of reincarnation of people sabotaging us to wake up. Now we are fully woke, and so now all we have to do is forgive ourselves, use alchemy and thoughts, that no matter how many negative thoughts arise and how triggered you get depending on how negative of a person you are, what goes around comes around. So the only way to cope and deal with that and not try to run from yourself, like in the movie Smile 1 and Smile 2, you have to face you have to face your demons, you have to face your negative thoughts, you have to face what you put into reality within the universe, God talking to us. If you get triggered, forgive yourself, call on for forgiveness, call on the powers to be. That you also have to, read Psalms, read the books of anything that can give you positive words of affirmation, that can give you mantras and positivity. And that's alchemy. That's alchematizing the thoughts to make you heal. The more tedious it is, the more negative you were. Not everybody has to face that, but just love a little more. And that's how you trigger the energies within you, by integrating your shadow. I love you all. Be well, okay? And be strong. And, we have to be held accountably responsible as adults in our healing process, to be patient and loving no matter what. Have a blessed evening.